This is Dwayne at RealFixesRealFast.com. Recently I was working with one of our viewers by the name of Chuck, and he had an '02 Camaro and the speedometer was not reading right. He had actually replaced his power steering pump and in the process disconnected the battery. And when he put it all back together, the speedometer was reading max speed, or 120, all the time. Sometimes that does happen. When you disconnect the battery, speedometers will get out of range. Some of the vehicles out there actually have a reset procedure that you can use that will reset it back to zero, but some of them don't. So there's various tricks and techniques that you can use to do that. And sometimes there is just no other way to reset it other than replacing the whole instrument cluster, which can actually be pretty expensive. Well, Chuck had this problem with his '02 Camaro, and he was actually able to reset the speedometer. Now, it wasn't in my shop, so I couldn't make the video, so I asked Chuck if he'd do that and send the video to me. So here's how Chuck reset the speedometer on his '02 Camaro.
Hi Dwayne, this is Chuck. This is just kind of a reenactment of how I fixed the speedometer needle on the 2002 Chevy Camaro with the V6 engine using your recommendations. Basically what initially happened was the red needle, which is on 10 right now.
Remember, this is a reenactment. The needle is pointing at 10 now because he fixed it. Before the fix, the needle was pointing over towards 120 miles an hour.
Something caused it to malfunction and come all the way around and sit past the 120 miles per hour on here. There's no way, according to the factory, to reset the speedometer. I used your suggestion and was able to get it fixed. What I did in this case was I took a drill, as you instructed, and I drilled a very small hole into the plastic, right about even with the center post on the speedometer needle area. Once I got the hole into the plastic, I used the flag that's used to mark electrical lines, water lines for when you dig in your yard, and I was able to put it in through the hole that I had drilled, got to the bottom of the needle, which was over on the right-hand side by the 120 before, and then I just basically pushed down on this wire and brought it up to where the needle actually moved up between the 70 and 90 mile per hours. What I did next then was I turned the key to the ignition switch on real fast and off. When I turned it on, I could tell that it activated the speedometer because it hit the needle real fast, and when I shut it off, it went back and reset back to where it's at 10 miles an hour now. Once you start the car up, the speedometer works normal. It drops back down to the zero like it should, and it has an accurate reading. That short, easy way of doing it saved me $300 in replacing the whole instrument gauge panel. Thanks for your suggestion on it, Dwayne.